there, it's Catherine, and I'm interrupting what I'm about to say by what I'm about to say. We just recorded an episode of We Only Look Thin, talking about what we think we need in weight loss versus what we actually need in weight loss. And speaking of not being perfect, we decided there was so much content in this very informative episode that we are going to make like scientists who split the atom, and we are splitting this episode into two.
Two
That's
episodes.
Right. Once
so
again,
you get double the pleasure.
Literally breaking news, breaking it into two parts. So we are going to start out this episode as we would the episode, but then we're going to find out in the middle. We're going to split it somewhere, like the atom, and we are going to finish it off. We'll give you part two next week. Do you have something to look forward to? Yes.
Yes, you do.
Part
and really,
two.
when you think about it, this is more important than splitting the atom was.
Probably. Particle colliding.
Yeah, us figuring out where to split this episode in two.
Well, and I think, too, you're like, oh, no, I'm listening to this week's episode. Now I have nothing to look forward to. But before you even look forward to it, you know that next week we've got more goodness to follow in part two. But listen to part one first, and we're going to do that now. And so you're going to listen to it in a second with your ears.
Yes, you are.
And here, it's going to happen right now. And welcome to another infomercial-worthy episode of We Only Look Thin.
Whoa.
I am your excitable host, Catherine Weigel. I have lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for over 6 years. I'm a Tiny Habits certified coach, a Thrive Global certified coach, and with me today is
Donald Weigel, and I have lost about 100 pounds, and I've kept it off for about 5.5 years, and I'm now a little bit concerned that you've set the bar so high as to tell people that this is infomercial worthy.
We are going to give it to you people, whether you want it or not.
Okay, we're going to do it.
The caffeine is kicking in.
We're going to do it.
What is better than an episode of We Only Look Thin that guarantees you that in the next 30 minutes, we will give you every single skill you need to lose that stubborn belly fat.
So stubborn.
No, but like, okay, if you were like me, are you like me?
I think I'm somewhat like you, sure.
You know what? Remember when TV was a thing and people would turn it on at odd hours before primary programming would be on?
Yeah.
And you would get those infomercials that promised revolutionary,
absolutely
strategic, amazing, dynamic results in beyond expectation.
Yeah, I think those shows have been replaced by those ads in my Twitter feed for like the magical product that you must order right now.
Oh my gosh.
Spray it on and it fixes all of
You don't have to change anything about your lifestyle.
All of the things, yeah.
Things will melt away, even things you don't want to have melt away. But Hey, everybody. Hi. It's We Only Look Thin. I'll take it down for just a minute, and then we're going to level back up again. What is better than being guaranteed quick results, little effort, like immediate A to Z, like completion of every single one of your goals immediately so that you can get back to your regular humdrum life?
Yeah.
What is better than that?
I don't think there's anything.
And I spent 25 years chasing that dragon or horse or I don't know, what is the chasing that snake or
yeah, I know you ride the snake chase the dragon.
Chase the dragon
yeah.
and you feed the horse an apple or
make
him drink an apple.
You feed the horse an apple a day and then the vet stays away. Yeah.
But we, dear listener, we have been very candid about our decades of trying those quick fixes.
Oh, yeah.
One weird trick.
Yeah.
Infomercial. Operators are standing by gimmicks to get that weight off.
Yeah, I wanted, every fad diet that came along. I wanted that, I stay on it for a few months, I hit my goal weight, and then I'm fixed forever, like one weird trick. Like I was looking for that for most of my life.
Yeah, I spent, 20 years trying to lose 50 pounds fast.
Yeah.
And all it did was get me resentful that, you know what? I just need that. Maybe there's one more commercial that I can watch at 2:00 in the morning. That will be the thing that will get it's the twist and shake and the fat twist off thing and the powder that you can sprinkle on your Cheerios to make them like have no calories.
Or you buy a Flowbee and you lose weight by cutting your hair at home.
I have actually thought about that. Like, well, if my hair was a little bit shorter, I'd just take off those little stud earrings that I'll just drop that extra weight.
Yeah.
And look, not all of us are lucky enough to have a limb bitten off by a shark. We've got to do it
so lucky.
the old-fashioned
those
way.
people are so lucky. Must be nice.
Yeah, operators are standing by with the electrodes that you can order in the mail that only take so many batteries or fly swatter to hit. You get your spouse to hit you with the fly swatter every time you want to eat something, and that'll be the way to lose the weight. But dear listener, we spend so much time doing that we didn't even realize that there was another way.
Someone said drink more ice water, and I thought they said fly swatter.
Oh,
no.
So for so long, we just thought that perfection was over the fence.
Yeah.
Someone else had it. It was just around the corner. And if we could pull all of the pieces together, get all of the facts together, that we would have the perfect plan also.
Yeah, we thought like it was hiding. Somebody was hiding it. They had the secret, but they just didn't want us to have it. And we just needed to crack the code and find it.
Right. I'm just not in the perfect place to get this done yet. Once everything is aligned, then it'll be perfect. But what we need is not the perfect place.
No.
We need a good place.
Oh,
we just need
the good
to be
place. That was a
in
good show.
Good place with our friend from Cheers, Tony. What was it?
Tony Danza.
No,
yes.
who was in it?
No, it was Ted Danson.
No, okay, Tony.
Ted Danson played Sam Malone
Sam
on Cheers.
Malone on
Yes.
Cheers,
And
who was also
in The Good Place.
The Good Place.
Yes.
That's what I meant to say all along. We don't need to be in the perfect place, just the good place.
Yeah.
And the good place, you know where it actually is, Donald?
No.
As I'm pointing to a certain part.
The listeners can't see where you're pointing.
Good place starts in your head, Donald.
Oh.
The good place was where you
inside
were
me all along.
All along.
The real treasure were the friendships we made along the way.
Exactly. But sometimes we need to go through the trials and tribulations for, like us, how many 30 plus years of doing it the wrong way?
40 plus years in my case.
Before we actually get to a good enough place to realize that good enough is good enough, and we don't need the infomercials. We just need a list of things that we're going to talk about, aren't we, Donald?
Yes, we are.
Aren't I articulate?
Yes.
We sure are.
And so this is essentially what we think we need.
Yeah.
What Catherine and I thought we needed, what people think they need versus what they actually need in order to achieve health and fitness goals.
Yep. So in the next 90 to 200 minutes, we will impart to you every detail you need to have the perfect plan. Hey, ha, ha, ha. Just kidding. We tricked you. You don't need the perfect plan.
Yes, exactly.
You just need enough information to get by.
Because, as we said, Pobody's
Nerfect, everyone, which I actually thought was really funny.
So the first thing that we tend to think that we need is 100% compliance to a plan or to stick to a streak.
Right. Does this sound like you?
If I just stick to this, if I go to the gym every day for 6 months, if I go every day for a year, if I stick to this, if I, adhere to this, eating plan every single day perfectly with no mess ups for a specific length of time, then I will achieve my goal. Oh, wait a second. I missed a day.
That's it. See,
I've
proof
ruined,
I can't do
my
it.
streak is over. It's done. I've ruined all my progress so far. I guess I'm a garbage person who will never get this done. I'm going to go back to just doing nothing.
Yep, but guess what? We're going to use that brain we talked about earlier. Many of you have one right in your area. Lurking within.
We find that many listeners have brains if we really look into it.
That does not sound good. But Donald, I'm here to tell you new information from your very own brain, or my brain into your brain.
I'm ready for it.
You're ready for it. Is that, you know what? We just need like a majority of the choices. And a majority, do you know how much a majority is?
How much?
Like 51%.
Yeah.
Just a little more good than unhelpful. We don't need perfection. We don't need everyday compliance.
Yeah, what we actually need is just consistency over time.
Over time.
Like, I have been doing this now for about 7.5 years, and I've been doing this for my whole life, but I have been doing it on the I don't want to say right path because it's not like good or bad, but I've been making consistent choices for the last 7.5 years, and it's really just consistency over time.
Yeah.
I haven't been perfect. I've been far from it. My weight goes up and down. My habits go in and out. I have different, seasons in my life. Sometimes I am able to really, like 100% focus on health and fitness, and other times it's like 30%. But I have, been consistent over the last 7.5 years of sticking to goals, consistent enough that I have been able to do this.
Well, and you know what you have stuck to?
No.
That growth mindset.
Oh, yeah.
Focusing on what is right in front of us. And when people look at the North Star, Donald, are you familiar with the North Star?
I've heard of
Being
it.
a sailor yourself,
Yes.
sailing the high seas of cheese.
World-class.
Like Primus.
World-class sailor of cheese, yes.
That we never reach the North Star, Donald, but we look at it and we use it as a compass, as a guidepost to where we want to go. And focusing on our health doesn't stop with a number on the scale, Donald.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm talking like this. It's
Yeah.
just the way I talk now. Kind of condescending, yet helpful, and like you hope it's over soon,
Yeah.
sort of like this episode.
Yeah.
But it's the direction we're pointed in. It's not perfect, but it is, we know what we want and we have the tools to get there. But it's not perfect. It's just...
No, it's just consistently doing your best over a length of time that will yield results.
From perfect to nerfect. What's the next thing, Donald?
The next thing that we think we need is endless motivation. I just can't find motivation. I'm just not motivated enough. Or I'm super motivated for a very short amount of time, and I do the plan, I hit it hard, and then my motivation just goes away, and I just can't do it anymore.
Yep, but like BJ Fogg says in his groundbreaking book, Tiny Habits, which, I don't know, Tiny Habits is like, it's small, it's tiny.
Yeah,
it's
no.
a small habit.
It's a great book.
Is that we ride waves of motivation. Motivation is like a wave. It doesn't last forever, but it gets us, there's a little like momentum, it gets us moving a little bit, but sometimes people of Earth, we just need to paddle ourselves. We need to swim ourselves. We need to move ourselves forward. We did a couple of episodes on motivation. We did the motivation bus and probably a few others over the last 5 years. Donald will link every single one of them in the notes. But
I will perfectly link every single one.
But we don't need motivation. We just need simple systems and processes to help move us in the right direction. Small steps that build over time. Again, taking that one step, a journey of 1,000 steps. Who wants to count 1,000 steps? How many steps does it take to get to the center of a
my watch counts my steps for me so that I don't have to do it. But
oh my God, what if you actually had to count every step?
Every step. Yeah.
But that's what, like, if I can't count every step,
I lost count. I'm going to start over.
I can't even with, like, the center of a Tootsie Pop, I can't count past 3.
Yeah, so, another way to phrase what Catherine is just saying is that we have put habits in place that we do regardless of whether we're motivated to do them or not. And an important component of all of these things is that they're habits that we don't hate. Because if you try and sustain things that you just hate doing, eventually you're going to stop because it's just too hard to keep doing something you hate for a long period of time.
Yeah, but like, am I in love with brushing my teeth? Am I in love with working and paying bills? No, but it's part of life. It's systems in place, things get done, and my teeth are sparkly white.
Yeah, your teeth are annoyingly sparkly. I try so hard, and mine are not. So the next thing that people think they need is willpower.
Oh, so much willpower.
I just need more willpower.
You need to want it enough.
There is this idea in society that people who are overweight just don't want it enough.
Oh my gosh.
They just don't want to be thin enough. And that, I can tell you.
I'm full of rage right now.
That there was nothing I wanted more. I wanted it so badly I could hardly stand it. It was, something I thought about constantly. And, you can want something and have all the willpower in the world, but if you don't know how to make it happen, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, just yelling to a baby, "Walk, baby, walk."
Right.
I don't know, people do that. I feel like I attack babies a lot.
You really do.
But what we actually need are the tools to manage our environment and navigate temptations, sticky situations, challenges. It's not about wanting anything enough. It's about making simple systems, like we said, to help us manage the challenges and changes in life. Studies show that if we rely on willpower, it's not going to work. That's basically like people went to graduate school and got PhDs in things, and basically that's like what I'm reducing it all to. But just like willing yourself to do something isn't enough. Coming up with systems and processes really does matter. And I don't need willpower now because I have systems. I've got all my plans and my priorities and my, like all the 7 Ps episode that we did. And it really helps. It takes away all that need for willpower because I already just have some choices in place that I know I can rely on.
Yeah. And again, if you're trying to do things that are just too difficult or that you just can't stand over a long period of time, your willpower might get you through for a while, but eventually everybody has a point at which they're going to stop doing the things that they can't stand doing.
Right. We can do really hard things for a very short period of time. Like if we look like I'm going to do this right now, got to get it done. That's fine. But you can't how'd you do it? Well, I've spent the last 50 years just gritting my teeth and dreading everything because that's what it's going to take. It doesn't have to be that hard, does it?
No, it really doesn't. And so the next thing, and this one is a super common one, people think that they need a huge calorie deficit.
Ugh.
They think they need to go from eating all the food that they want without restriction to, going down below, 14, 13, 1,200 calories. Like I've heard of people trying to, stay to 1,000 calories or lower in a day. And not only is it not healthy to do that, it's virtually impossible to stick to that kind of a restriction for a long time, and it isn't beneficial.
Right. So I used to go through cycles of extreme deficit. I would eat under, even on Weight Watchers, find out I was only eating about 1,000 calories, for all the points that they would give me.
Yeah.
And then I would I'm doing it. And then a party would come up or a birthday or something I couldn't track. And then I would blow it over the weekend and then give up because it was just too hard. That's where we think we need the willpower.
Yeah. And there's lots of studies that show too that you can really wreck your metabolism by trying to eat at such a low calorie deficit, because then your body will think that you're going into some sort of starvation mode and try and hold on to every last morsel of calorie that you have. And it doesn't even in the long term result in the weight loss that you're hoping for. Right.
So it just leads to a lot of regret and then repeat behavior of undereating and then overeating. So what we're suggesting is a moderate deficit that brings the weight down in a way that doesn't make you feel like you've got to miss out on every single happy joy food in the whole world. You don't have to skip parties. You don't have to stay home from vacations. And, not every day is going to be the same. Sometimes there's deficits. Sometimes there's maintenance times. And all of that is okay. It's about that sustainable lifestyle that guess what? We've been maintaining our weight for years now. We still track. It's still, their calorie deficit still matters.
And there are some very good calculators online, and I believe the Lose It app has one as well, where you can calculate your target range. And you do it in a way that you're losing, maybe it's only, a quarter of a pound a week or a half a pound a week or something like that. And to a lot of people, they want the weight gone right now, but the way to do this long term is to do it slow and steady, because it really is like you've heard with the tortoise and the hare, like slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, and the whole thing too is that like it feels urgent once you've decided.
Yeah.
Like I just want to lose the weight. Like just get it off of me, get it away from me, like the alien in Alien.
Right.
Whose name was, I guess, Alien?
Alien. Yes.
Alien never has a name. Like Predator has a name.
Well,
but they don't say like Alien.
I mean, they're still Predator. I mean, the Predator's not called like, Bill or anything.
But do they call him Predator, or is it like
Yeah.
They do say Predator?
I think you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll look that up.
I've always said Predator. Like, you don't say, like, Steven the Predator.
Steven the Predator.
Yeah.
That actually, if there is Steven the Predator, maybe that's not your dating profile name.
You don't want to date Steven the Predator. That's for sure.
Okay, so once you have that sustainable deficit, Donald, don't you have to, like, master something else?
You have to master meal prep.
Oh, no. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. This is another thing that people think they need to do, is to become masters of meal prep, that you need to get all of the from scratch ingredients and make mountains of pre-made meals so that you have all of your meals planned and cooked and ready for the week. And Catherine has something to say.
Meal prep mastery. I just imagined like actual He-Man, like, oh, I have the power, and then he like uses his sword and the Castle Grayskull to like master meal prep,
and then like just all of these Tupperware containers appear with pre-portioned like from scratch meals like inside them,
and She-Ra comes for some reason.
Yeah,
like we just imagine that it's got to be. And I did this for years. Well, I did like the salad in the jar because Pinterest told me to for a week, and now I haven't done it again. And now I'm a garbage person because I can't do that. Obviously, there's somebody out there who's meal prepping their way to food mastery.
Yeah, and what you really need are simple go-to options that meet your needs based on your current schedule, your level of expertise, and your season of life. And look, you don't have to meal prep at all to do this. Like, there are plenty of, your meal prep could consist of you buying things that are already pre-made. There are lots of pre-made meals and very easy to prepare things. There are pre-chopped vegetables, pre-chopped fruit, like things that are already, like someone else, you farm out the work to somebody else so that it's already done for you.
Just imagine that He-Man and his knife are pre-chopping everything for you. And that's his job. He's your sous chef.
Did He-Man carry a knife, or was it? It was a
sword.
It was a big sword. Yeah,
it was a big sword. But whatever knife you use, we're not into knife judgment here. Like, you've got to do your own thing. But just imagine that you are outsourcing that service from someone else to you to make your life easier. And it's okay. It's all okay.
Yeah, and then along the same lines, another thing that people think they need is recipes.
I don't have a recipe. Recipe for success, Donald.
Recipe for success. They think if they just find the right recipes that this whole thing will become
I don't
easy.
have a recipe problem. It's never been.
Yeah.
If somebody needed a recipe, like professional chefs on television would all be very slender, all of them, because they have recipes.
Yeah, this is sort of a personal one for me, and I think for Catherine too. Like I frequent a lot of Reddit groups that talk about weight loss, and there's just so many people that just are reaching out for recipes. Like, I just need my healthy, low-cal recipes in order to make this work.
Yeah, guess what? I'm cooking. I'm just letting you know, everyone. So, like, we start making dinner at the same time. Donald and I eat different things, but it'll be like the top of the hour, like they say on the radio.
Right.
And Donald is like, okay, my food will be ready in 20 minutes. And I'm pulling out ingredients.
Right.
And Dawn's like, oh, well, when will your food be ready? Or like, what are you making?
Like, I don't even know what I have.
I don't even know. Just food is coming out and whatever's going to happen. Like, I'm as excited as you to find out what it is I'm going to be eating. But it'll be ready in the half hour. It'll be fine. It'll be good. So no recipes. I use no recipes.
No, I use no recipes either.
But if you like recipes,
the recipe
great.
for success.
Boy, howdy, that is a lot of information to take in.
Boy, howdy indeed.
Can't possibly be any more things I think I need in order to lose weight. But guess what?
That's where you'd be wrong.
That's where you'd be wrong, mister, or whomever. We are going to pause there because it's a lot of information to digest, a lot of fun, a lot of thinking thoughts that you might have about what you might have thought about in the past. We are going to save the rest and maybe the best. I don't even remember. For next week, you've got, again, something.
Let's just say it was the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that you have the best parts of this to look forward to.
Right. This was just the, appetizer, the amuse-bouche of your week, of your ears. Can you do amuse? Isn't that how you pronounce eyeball? Or no, not eyes. I don't remember how to pronounce ears in French.
I don't even know what the word is.
There's something about ears in French.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a word for ears in French.
If you know what they are,
they probably
let us know.
have one. Yeah.
It's not les yeux. That's the eyeballs.
Oh my God, no one wants to hear this.
No. So speaking of
this is not the French, the try to remember French vocabulary words podcast.
This is basically how I speak French in France. I just don't remember anything I'm going to say, and then I just want to go home and speak English again. But if you have listened to this, merci, and thank you for listening.
Merci beaucoup. Mercy buckets, as people used to say.
Oh, boy, howdy. Yeah. Boy, howdy again.
Boy, howdy indeed.
Wins the day. So think about all of the thoughts that you have had in the past about motivation and willpower and calorie deficits and more. Just think about what you might have considered in the past, how you might be able to augment that based on what we have told you today, the valuable information, and just know that there is more coming at you next week. Boy, howdy.
Yes, boy, howdy indeed. You'll turn it on and you'll say, boy, howdy. That was a lot of valuable information.
If you're tired of gee whiskers, just remember that boy, howdy is always at your fingertips.
And boy, howdy, do we have a lot more episodes for you to listen to. Thank you
and that is a threat.
So much for listening to this one. We have many, many more episodes that are still available on all of the major podcast platforms, available for your listening pleasure. And you can find them wherever you found this one, or you can go to our website and find them there. They are all there, available any time of day at weonlylookthin.com.
Yep, and if you are at weonlylookthin.com, you can click on that link for Join Our Support Group to find out more about WOLT Place. We Only Look Thin Place is our Facebook-based accountability group for women. We are not a weight loss plan. We are a place, however, for connection, Zoom meetings, accountability, and honest feedback and call and response. I don't know. It sounded like some sort of, I don't know, all the boy howdy stuff just really threw me off. I'm feeling very much like square dancing right now.
Focus on G Whiskers instead of boy howdy.
I'm G Whiskers and this is
boy howdy.
Oh no. Hop along. Okay, so it is a place for accountability, check-ins, habit trackers, and just honest conversations about the struggles and successes that we have with weight loss. We have 2 subscription options, a monthly subscription with a 3-day complimentary trial, and a 3-month subscription with a 7-day complimentary trial to see if WOLT Place is right for you.
Absolutely. And in all seriousness, it's also a place where you can figure out, you can really work out what you think you need versus what you actually need. And there are people there who are going through the same things you are, have gone through the same things you are, and most importantly, perhaps, is Catherine Weigel, who really knows her stuff, and you have direct access to her, and she can really, help you through those moments when there's something you think you need and direct you towards what you actually need.
Right. And for me, this is a process. It's not like, oh, I've got it all figured out and now I'm on the perfect path all the time. We have setbacks, we have struggles, and it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be successful. From morning to night, you can change with the wind. It is all possible there. So please do check us out. I am super proud of the community that we have. It is private, it is safe, and it is a place to be exactly who you are while working on the person you want to be.
Absolutely. And you can also interact with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at We Only Look Thin. Or you can interact with us via email. Send us an email. We appreciate compliments. We appreciate questions. We've turned many listener questions into episodes of this show. If there are episodes you feel like we haven't done, if there are topics you feel like we haven't done a deep dive on or that we haven't touched on in a long time, you'd like a refresher, send us an email. You can do that to weonlylookThin@gmail.com.
Yep, and if you have an extra moment, you can head over to Apple Podcast and leave us a rating and a review. Not only does it help us know that what we're doing is making a difference in your life, that the time we're spending to create these valuable episodes is meaningful in your life, but it also helps others find our podcast when they are looking for inspiring podcasts like ours.
That was way funnier than it should have been. Like, I really wanted to laugh hard at that. I don't know why. And if you want to help us out in another way, just word of mouth is a great way to help us out. If you got something out of this show and you pass on the word to somebody that you know, or if you're on the interweb, on a Facebook group, a Discord server, a Reddit group. I follow several Reddit groups involving weight loss and fitness, and if you could, chime in and give us a shout out. I feel a little self-conscious giving myself a shout out in those groups, but if you would do that for us,
for me, that would be great.
We would really appreciate it, and it really helps the show grow.
Yep. So if you can't wait to find out what happens with Gee Whiskers and Boy Howdy next week, just remember that Donald and I are an inspiration.
I'm Boy Howdy.
And I'm Gee Whiskers.
The information that you hear on this podcast is for informational purposes only. The hosts are not medical professionals. You should always consult with your doctor, nurse, or other certified health professional before beginning any diet or fitness program.